Greetings. My name is Angela Thompson, and I am the owner and founder of ArKAngel Enterprises, where we help individuals and companies to thrive. And I am here today with my very, very good friend, ELISE HORNE. ELISE and I know each other from Top Ladies of Distinction Incorporated, but we found out through working together, serving the community, that we have much more in common. One, we both went to Towson State University. I call it Towson State. ELISE may call it Towson University. It did change over time. ELISE works incredibly hard. She is not one that is just going to sign up and sit down and watch things happen. Whenever there's an opportunity to serve the community, ELISE is right there. And not only is she there, she's there with her mom. They both joined and they both serve the community incredibly well. She is a gift to the organization. She is a gift to the community, and you will soon see what I see in her. So with that said, I am going to turn it over to Miss ELISE to introduce her nonprofit company to us, and then we're just going to have a conversation.
Thank you so much. I just am so honored to be here. Thank you so much for the invitation. I am just excited to be with you today and share a little bit about my nonprofit organization. Together We Thrive Disabilities Foundation, Inc.
ELISE, tell us what inspired you to start this company.
So actually, let me start with something personal, and that is that I have two boys, a 5-year-old, he is typically developing, and I also have a 10-year-old, and my 10-year-old is autistic, and he was diagnosed at 2 years old with autism, but also with a speech delay as well. And fast forward to today, he is doing great. We started him in early intervention with the Infants and Toddlers program in Charles County, and with different therapies like OT therapy and speech therapy. And with that, he is doing very well today. He's still very low verbal, but he utilizes a speaking device that helps him if he cannot express himself. So every year, his expressive and receptive language is getting better and better, but sometimes we either can't understand what he's saying or he's not able to say it, so he'll type it. He's a fantastic speller, so he will spell it out for us so we can understand what he's saying. And through the process, I guess, of getting him evaluated, it was very isolating for my husband and I because we did not know anyone else who was going through the same journey. We didn't know anyone else who was raising a child on the spectrum, no family members, friends, anything like that. So it was very isolating. It was very lonely at the time. And so in 2021, I was with a friend and we were sitting down having dinner and talking about our children with disabilities. And there used to be a parent support group in Charles County, but she ended up moving away. COVID happened and all that kind of stuff. So it left a void. And so my friend and I, we said, well, there's a great need here in the county for a support group where parents and caregivers who are caring for individuals with disabilities can come together and share resources and to help build a village. And our idea was that if we could help one family not feel like they're going about it alone, then we've done our job. So that's how the Charles County Autism and Developmental Disabilities Parent Support Group started in 2021. So that was the start of the journey into the world of advocacy work and helping those in the community.
Wow. That's incredible. And so you started from a very personal level where you could actually see the impact of the work that you were doing just with your son and the community of other parents in this particular support group to now evolve to your particular nonprofit company. Talk a little bit about your company. How was it birthed out of this experience with the greater community prior to 2020?
It started with the support group. We started virtual monthly parent support group meetings. It's just a safe space for parents to come together and share resources, share struggles, share the triumphs, vent if they need to, or just listen. Whatever's said in the meeting stays in the meeting. And we also started a private closed Facebook page because we do respect our family's privacy. But it's a wonderful community. It's over 800 members right now. And yes, and people share resources all the time. People will ask questions and will actually get answers from other parents who have either gone through it or who are going through it as well. They can post anonymously and get their answers. So that is really how all of this started. So then fast forward a couple of years, actually a year this month, that my colleague and I started this organization. And the reason why we wanted to start this organization is to be able to expand what we're doing in the support group. So we wanted to expand our reach. And then through the nonprofit organization and our 501c3 status, that meant that we can start fundraising, we can start applying for grants, because our goal is to never charge a family for anything. So right now we offer free support groups, meetings. We also offer free workshops and webinars as well. But we also have family fun events, but we were never able to offer it for free. And we don't want our parents who are already paying for so much adaptive equipment, lots and lots of therapy, doctors' visits. We didn't want them to have to pay for these fun events that we have. So one of the things that we wanted to do was start a nonprofit so that we can raise funds to help these families even more and expand our reach even more.
So with the work that you're doing to expand your reach, are you receiving the support that you need or that you were hoping for through the grant process or sponsor process, donor process? How is that part going for you?
That's a wonderful question. So right now we're still working on that. We're still trying to get off the ground with those. So we have had a couple of fundraising events. They were wonderful. So as far as fundraising, that's been pretty successful. But as far as grants go, I am so new to this. I'm to be honest, I'm so new to this. So there is actually a consulting group that a friend of mine just started working for, and their whole job is to help nonprofits with funding and to apply for, they will find the grants, they will apply for the grants for you and submit them for you. So I'm looking into utilizing that service right now. So I know that it's coming. I'm still young, I'm only a year old, but I know that it's coming. God has definitely blessed us so far.
I am so incredibly proud of the work that you're doing. Tell us about the age group of the family members that need these services. How old are they, or how young are they? What is the age range?
There is not an age in which individuals with disabilities and their families need help and support. So it's all ages. It does not end ever, even into adulthood. But our support group goes from ages 2 to 21.
Okay.
And then the nonprofit organization is all ages.
Okay. Let's separate the two for me because I'm not that familiar.
So the support group is umbrellaed under the nonprofit. It's a part of our nonprofit. It's one of the programs that we offer. Even though we started it before the nonprofit, it is housed underneath the nonprofit and one of our programs that we offer through the nonprofit now.
Okay. That adds clarity. Thank you so very much for that. And how do families find you? Is it word of mouth? If they needed to be in the support group or to receive services from the nonprofit, what is their pathway to get the type of support that they need?
Great question. So the easiest way to find us is online. And we have social media pages. We have an Instagram page and a Facebook page for the nonprofit. And we have a Facebook page, as I was mentioning before, the closed Facebook group for the support group. And we also have a website as well. And it's all housed there. So I guess that is even easier, just to go to the website and there's links and you just click it and it'll take you to the different social media pages. But then there's also word of mouth as well. Some of our support group members have told their friends. Disabilities, it affects everyone. So even if you may not care for an individual with disabilities, chances are you may know somebody who is. So word of mouth, definitely. And then we're also out in the community a lot. So we set up resource tables at a lot of the community events in the county. And recently I've been asked to speak at a number of different Charles County government agencies as well. So just getting the word out there and spreading it out as many ways as I can. But definitely the easiest way to get in touch with me or to learn more about our organization is definitely through our website, which is www.togetherwethrivemd as in Maryland.org.
Awesome. 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 And I would suspect too, anyone that wishes to make a donation can go there as well and make their donation directly from your website and the other sources that you provided. That's awesome. Tell us a little bit about those that receive the services in terms of the impact that you're able to see directly, either through the support group, those helping each other just to talk things through and telling, each other about the resources that may be available, but some of the things that you guys get together to do for fun in ways in which you've seen directly the services change the lives of not just the I'm not going to say children, but anybody that needs the services, but also the families that support them, whether it be in school, in the home, in the community, anything that you would like to share.
Yes, that's a wonderful part of what I do is getting to see impact in real time. And so, for example, I do some IEP prep for some parents. So some parents, especially ones who are new to special education, they are very overwhelmed. It's very arduous. It's a lot to process and to understand, especially because IEPs are very long. They have many pages. There are a lot of acronyms and things, and parents get very overwhelmed. So I do have a number of parents who will reach out to me, and I walk them through what to expect in their IEP meeting and what the different sections mean. That kind of puts their minds at ease. They feel a sense of, I can do this. After they speak with me, I give them encouragement and let them know that they can do this. And then we keep in contact. So even after the IEP meeting, they'll call me back and let me know how it goes. And maybe we'll talk about some things and hash it out for the next IEP meeting. So that's something that I have seen many times, which is wonderful. And something else is just not feeling like you're doing this alone. As I was mentioning this before, that's been one of the biggest things that I've seen as far as the impact that we're making on the families in the community. They will tell us, thank you so much for this group, because up until now, I didn't feel like anyone understood what I was going through. And it was very isolating, just how I felt before. And they're just so happy that now that they can build this community. And as far as our fun events that you were mentioning, we've had a number of family fun events where our children can get together in a no judgment, no bullying zone and just be themselves and be able to make other friends. And while they're making friends, us parents, we're making friends. And I've made some amazing mommy friends through this group. And we also have Mom's Night Out, which is so much fun. Yes, it's so much fun. Just a time, and no kids, just us, and we get to just have some fun, go out and either do crafts or whatever, and just have fun just with us, and just be able to relax and to decompress and just enjoy one another's company. We also have Dad's Night Out as well. So my husband is one of the leaders of the Dad's Night Out events, and they've gone bowling. I forgot what they did before. Oh, axe throwing. They went axe throwing. So they've done a number of really fun activities with just the men. Yes.
I love that. For those that don't really understand what it is like to have an autistic child or an autistic family member, can you explain or educate us so that we can be more empathetic and sympathetic and let us know how we can help in addition to any donations that we can make?
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you for asking. So the something that's always stuck out to me is the phrase, once you've met one person who is autistic, you've met one person who's autistic. And what that means is that they call it a spectrum for a reason. And individuals can fall anywhere on the spectrum, which means that no two people with autism are the same. You know, you may have some similarities in some people, but then in some other people, you may not have any similarities at all. So I can describe how my son is, but if I describe him, it may be completely different with someone else, if that makes sense. For example, my son, he is extremely low verbal. However, there are other individuals who are very verbal and they don't have any type of challenges with communication. So there's definitely different levels to it, autism. As far as my son, he is extremely intelligent. And something that I would want people to know is, who may not have experience with individuals with autism, for those who are low verbal, I just want to caution people when they make judgments about them when they meet them. A lot of times, if there is an individual with autism, that person is low verbal, a lot of people automatically assume that they aren't smart or that they aren't intelligent. But just because they communicate in a different way does not mean that they don't understand what you're saying, and it doesn't mean that they're not intelligent. So that's one thing I really want to make sure to get across to people. And then as far as the empathy piece, thing that I've really learned about through this journey of mine and working with so many individuals with disabilities is to be patient. When you're out there in the grocery store, anywhere, just be patient with people, because you never know if they have a disability. Some people's disabilities are more invisible than others. And so always try to preach patience with people, understanding, kindness. Kindness goes a very long way, because you never know if they have a disability that is not as visible as maybe some others, if that makes sense.
And that advice goes a long way. Just be kind, period, to everybody. Everyone deserves that. Treat people how you want to be treated.
Absolutely.
And I asked that question for a reason, because I think awareness goes a long way. And so if we understood triggers, so I know certain light, in terms of if you are preparing for a meeting, and strobe lights don't always work for everybody. And so in terms of how you plan makes a difference regardless of who's there. So just be cognizant of some of those things as you kind of move forward with anything that is open to the public, and you may not know everybody who is going to attend. How about the schools? Are you working with the school system, and are they receptive to the services that you have? Are partnerships being formed so that they understand that they're not in it by themselves and you're not in it by yourselves, and it's something that you all need to work on together, so that the students at the schools are receiving the services that they need, and that those schools know that they can count on parent organizations such as yours to be there and to partner with them in the success of not only the child, but the families and the school, everybody into this one overall village?
That's a great question too. So I used to chair the Charles County CCAC, which stands for the Special Education Citizens Advisory Committee. And what they do is they advocate for the families who have children in the special education department in Charles County Public Schools. And they work directly with the director of special education and keep him or her up to date on the issues or challenges or how to best service the children in the special education program. So now I'm not the chair of that organization anymore. However, I work very closely with the organization still, and with the current chair, who happens to be one of my board members and a good friend of mine, which is wonderful. So yes, I do keep in contact with the director of special education for Charles County, and I also keep in contact with CCAC, and every now and then I will speak to Charles County school board members as well.
And are they very receptive to the partnership or to the exchange and dialogue that you have with them?
They are, which is a blessing. I really do feel like I have their ear, and if I needed to speak with them or have a meeting or talk with them, I do feel like they would listen because they have. So yes, I do.
Awesome. One of the things that I became aware of recently, because we're both members of TLOD, in our particular chapter, the Southern Maryland chapter, you were featured in one of our newsletters. And one of the things that grabbed my attention was how you went back to our alma mater at Towson and how kind they were when it came to a game and being accommodating to you and your family. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh my goodness. I love how accommodating they are at their games for individuals who have sensory sensitivities. As you were mentioning before, some individuals are sensitive to bright lights, strobing lights, loud sounds, and or crowds as well. And so at the games that we attend, including the homecoming game, which I didn't even know they did this for their football games as well, they have a designated quiet room where the individuals like my son can go and just decompress. And oh my goodness. So the at the homecoming game, the football game, it was the speech and language pathologist students who decided to open up a sensory room, a quiet room, and they provided all these different activities for the kids to do once you went in there, noise canceling earphones, things like that. And it was a beautiful room where you can actually watch the game through this beautiful glass. It's a beautiful room. And we can watch the game from up high. Like, it was better than like any of the seats down there. So
Get a suite.
it was amazing. It was amazing. Like, they really took care of us. And then for their indoor soccer game, Baltimore Blast, they play at CQ Stadium. They had a room for us there too. So even in the CQ Stadium, which is their basketball stadium, they have quiet rooms as well. So I am just very impressed with the different ways that they accommodate for children like mine at games, because sometimes it's hard to even go to a game with those types of just over stimulation.
Mm-hmm. In terms of pre-planning for events like that, what goes into that type of pre-planning? Do you have to call ahead to see, whether it be at Towson or anywhere else, to see what type of accommodations that they have that may meet your needs?
We usually don't call ahead of time, actually. We have learned to be prepared for there to not be any accommodations. We're more used to that, actually. We're more used to organizations not accommodating for our children. That's one of the things that I do fight for. We've learned to pre-plan. So we carry our own sensory bag, if you will. We always travel with noise canceling headphones. We also make sure that we have snacks, because he's a very picky eater. He only eats a couple of things. So
me too.
So, I mean, this is more common than you think, right? It's more common than you think. Yes. But so we bring his snacks with him, and we also, have to bring like a change of clothes, even now, just in case. You never know, because of the lack of communication sometimes, and I need to go to the bathroom or something like that. We're just always prepared, just in case. If there is a quiet room somewhere, we are usually pleasantly surprised and very, very grateful. There's at least one that I know of, Sesame Place in Park has an amazing quiet room. They are a certified, I forgot what the exact term is, but it's something like certified sensory friendly theme parks. It's something like that. Yeah. So yeah.
That is awesome. That is so awesome. So what is your son's name?
Rodney the third.
Rodney the third. He is the inspiration behind it all. Before we talk a little bit more about Rodney, you do have another son. So how has he accommodated, or what has that journey been like with the siblings? So how does that work out?
That's a great question. So it's been a journey, because as I was mentioning, my youngest son, his name is Nathan. He is 5 and he is typically developing, and he doesn't quite understand what autism is. He knows that his brother has something called autism, but he's not too sure what it is. I mean, it's very complex, right? It's a little difficult and a little hard to explain it to a 5-year-old where they can understand. So there are some things that his brother will do. It's just like symptoms of his diagnosis, like stimming. And stimming is like when flap your hands and make loud noises, or, stimming can present itself in a number of different ways, but my son flaps his hands and makes loud noises. When he gets overstimulated, he needs squeezes, and he also seeks squeezes as well. So he's grabbed his brother before to try to get those squeezes and stuff like that. And, his brother doesn't like that. And, he used to get very, very angry, and we used to have to explain to him, your brother has autism. He's not doing this on purpose. He's not doing this to try to hurt you. It's been a little bit challenging, I should say, to explain what autism is to him, but it seems like as he's getting older, he's slowly understanding. He's super used to his brother and all the noises that he makes and behaviors. He's super used to it. So yeah, he's definitely evolved. And so at the beginning, my oldest, Rodney, he did not interact with his brother, and his brother also didn't understand why his brother didn't want to play with him. He's my youngest son. He's very social. He is very bubbly, very social. He loves.
And where does he get that from?
Let me think. He's definitely me. He's definitely my personality for sure. Sure. He definitely is. But so that was a little difficult for him too, to just not understand that his brother, he just is not interested. And that's something that he doesn't do. He doesn't play with other children. Yeah, it's just a lot of education. It's just a lot of education with him. Yes.
It also sounds like it's an opportunity because the youngest one came after. He's learning firsthand, and so he is going to be able to be another advocate once he really grows up and understands. 5 is very young to be introduced to anything. But as he starts to mature, he will be able to educate other people who that empathy, whereas some adults don't even have it. One, because they don't understand it, but he's growing up with it. And because of you and your husband and the way in which you nurture them, God has just gifted you all with everything that you have before you. And congratulations and kudos to you on your journey. I would love to meet the inspiration behind your company. So if Rodney is available, I'd love to just say hi to him.
Absolutely. Give me just a minute to get him.
Yeah.
And say hi.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Hi, Rodney. How are you?
Rodney, can you say hi?
Hi. Oh,
good boy. Good job.
Good job,
buddy. What are you doing, buddy?
How you doing?
Okay, he's talking to you. He wants to talk to you.
Hi there. How are you doing?
How are you doing today? How are you doing? Are you
You're so handsome.
Oh, good. He put a thumbs up. Good job.
I feel pretty good today too, Rodney. Yes. We've been talking to your mom, and she's such an inspiration, and you are too. I'm so proud of you. So proud of you. 10 years old. Oh my goodness. Wow, you're a big boy. Yes, you are. I like your shirt too. What kind of shirt do you have on?
What does your shirt say? It says how to kick butt in math.
Oh, very good. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, Rodney, it is such a pleasure to meet you. I am so proud of you. Yes.
Wow, he's happy. Good job, buddy. Can you say goodbye? Goodbye.
Bye.
Oh, see you later. Oh my goodness.
See you later.
Oh, that was big. Oh my goodness. Like it's stuff like that like, oh my goodness, like I haven't even heard him say that, and
Mhm.
that was unprompted. Oh, it's stuff like that is just, it just brings me so much joy. I've never heard him say
Absolutely.
see you later unprompted. That was amazing.
That's
You pulled
awesome.
it out of him.
That, that's my guy. That's my Rodney.
Oh my goodness.
I am so, so, so happy to
We got
meet
it on
him.
camera.
Yes, yes, all
Yes,
that
that's
love. I mean,
awesome.
it was just in his eyes. And so the work that you do certainly starts with the family. And I can only imagine anybody that is connected with you, that all of these moments are because of the work that you're doing in the community and how you love so hard and believe so hard and bring to bear the joy and the peace that I just saw in Rodney. So your husband's not here, but I'm gonna say this to him. And so when you play this back, kudos to him too. Kudos to you both, because you're doing this together and you're finding space and opportunity for each person in the family to thrive, including your younger son, who is growing up learning and listening and loving the way you do. And so for all of us that are getting to know what autism is and what it's not and what it looks like, and the fact that there is a spectrum and that no two people are the same, just like people without autism, no two of us are the same, I think is an incredibly important, it's a reminder to us all that we need to live out our journey with grace, with gratitude, and we need to understand how important it is to look at each other and really see each other, no matter what that person has. And so, if you can talk a little bit more about autism and anything that you want us to know, to really know that we may not have discussed, or maybe just to emphasize some things that we have. I'd love to hear that as well, because I want people to walk away and to understand more about what your company offers, but moreover about people with autism and what they're facing.
Yes, absolutely. So I really want to convey the message that autism is not the end. A lot of parents, when they hear that their child is diagnosed with autism, they automatically think, oh my goodness, like my world's going to end, and it's because they don't know just yet what autism is. They, have heard a lot of things. They've seen movies, they maybe have seen it on TV, dramatized, but I always let parents know that there is life after autism, diagnosis. In fact, with the proper supports and therapy, you are going to set your child up to be as independent as possible. The earlier that you get them into these different programs, as far as therapy and special education at school, getting them the help that they need, the earlier that you can give this to them, the better, and the higher chance, the greater chance you are giving your child to thrive. And it doesn't mean that they can't, they just need extra help. So I also let parents know that autism, all it is a different way that the brain works. That's all it is. It's not a disease. It's not something that you can catch. All it means is that their brains work differently, and that for some of them, they may need extra help, or that they learn a different way. So it's not that they can't learn, they just learn a different way. So sometimes you have to find out how their brain processes information and how to teach them and how they learn. That's all it is. It's just a difference in how the brain works, but there's nothing wrong with them. I really, really want to encourage parents to know that, and just know that there's so much joy. Yes, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There are some struggles. There's some days that are tougher than others. There are some obstacles that you may have to face, but with proper supports a support group with other individuals, other parents, other caregivers who can offer you different strategies, resources, connecting with ABA therapists, for example, speech therapists, OT therapists. You don't have to do it alone, and you can all figure it out together as long as you build that village and that support system and that team. Everyone is going to be okay. I just want to encourage parents and caregivers to let them know there is life after an autism diagnosis.
I love that. Thank you so much for that. Before we kind of end this very informative yet engaging conversation, because I'm learning so much just in talking with you, can you talk a little bit about the diagnosis? How does it first present itself? And then what tests are taken to officially or formally diagnose one with autism?
Because no two individuals are the same, I can mostly speak about my son. So for my son, he started speaking a couple of words, and it seemed like he was developing, typically, and he was speaking a couple of words. And then all of a sudden, when he turned, it was almost to the day when he turned 18 months, he stopped speaking completely. Any words that he had, he used to say up and point up and, and different things, mom, dad, stuff like that. Just one day, just stopped speaking completely. And then when he learned how to walk, my mom is actually the one that noticed that he was walking on his tippy toes, that he was avoiding eye contact, that he couldn't really look you in the eye. She is an educator. And so she recognized the early signs. I did not. This is my first child, and I didn't know about any of these signs or symptoms. And I was in denial, to be honest, because I had other people around me telling me, oh, he's too young to diagnose him. He's too young to know what's going on. He's still developing. He's so young, stuff like that. It wasn't until he was not hitting his developmental milestones every time he would go see his doctor. He was not meeting his milestones, especially in communication. And so it wasn't until his pediatrician, who I trusted, recommended that he get evaluated by a developmental pediatrician, that I said, you know what? Like, it was like something switched in me. It was like a light bulb or something just switched in me. And I went from denial mode. As soon as he said that, something flipped in me and said, okay, what do I need to do to help my child? Because it's not about me, it is about my baby, and making sure that he has everything that he needs in order to thrive. And so I took him, my husband and I took him. We were with Kaiser at the time, and they had a wonderful behavioral health department. And we went and saw the developmental pediatrician, who ran through a number of tests, like seeing if he could stack blocks. It was very age appropriate things that his typically developing peers should be able to do, if that makes sense. So stuff like, and it was stuff like imaginative play, feeding the baby a bottle, trying to see if he would interact with or even notice the developmental pediatricians, stuff like that. It was a whole checklist of things. And once we received that diagnosis, again, it was like, what do we need to do? What do we need to do? What do we need to do? So that's what started with us getting him into infants and toddlers program at 2 years old. And ever since, he's been in therapies. He's in the SOAR program here in the county, which is a very small classroom setting, for children with autism. And I'm just so thankful that we did that, and that we did it as when we did, because he is doing so much better now as far as his development, because of all the therapies and the help that he's gotten.
And that's one reason why I asked that particular question, because you went through what a normal path would be like, including denial up to advocacy. But as soon as you found out what your son was dealing with, you were able to advocate for him and get him the treatment that he needs to thrive. This is the name of your company implies. And so if there's any doubt, I think that the message to anyone that's wondering whether my child has a cold or autism or anything else that they're just not sure about, is to get it checked out. And if you're not sure and you want to get a second or third opinion, that's okay, but start to get it checked out so that you can get them the help that they need, and yourself, right? Because it does really take that village to make it all work.
Absolutely. Yes, it does.
So everybody that's tuned in right now, I want you to know that this interview is not by accident. This is Women's History Month, and I consider Miss ELISE HORNE to be a HERtory maker. She is thriving. She has started what I believe to be the catalyst of change when it comes to advocating for folks that need it. And it just so happens that the community that she's serving is autism. But you can replace autism with anything, and you will have the blueprint for what success looks like and how we must stay together as a community and advocate for one another, whatever those needs happen to be. She sees her son, but she could have stopped right there, but she sees other folks as well. And because of her passion for people and her love for people, she's reached out to others and built this dynamic community. And she's not only helping her son, but she's helping others to thrive too. So please look for her website. You will see it at the end of this video. Tune in, make that donation when you can. If you have resources that can help, please reach out as well. Let's continue to build this community. Let's continue to provide support and pour in to each other the way that we want support poured into us. Miss ELISE, is there anything that you'd like to say in conclusion for this discussion?
I think you've covered it all. Just thank you so much again for having me, allowing me the opportunity to be able to share my story, what my organizations do, and to introduce everyone to my beautiful ray of sunshine.
Yes, he truly, truly is that. Oh my goodness. Well, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in, and happy Women's HERtory Month.